everyone, Mike here from Dangerous Music. Today we're going to talk about some of the different options that you have when incorporating a talkback mic with your dangerous source. Let's start by looking at the source's two different modes of operation, latch mode and toggle mode. Latch mode allows us to use more than one source at a time to feed the destination, whereas toggle mode restricts us to only one audio source at a time, feeding the destination. Any of the three sections of the source can be in either latch or toggle mode. To change these, all we have to do is go into setup by hitting both of the setup buttons at the same time. And when we see these lights blinking, we know we're in setup mode. Then you'll see that each section has a button with a circle around it. These are the buttons that are going to determine whether we're in latch or toggle mode. When the button is lit, you're in latch mode. When the button is unlit, you're in toggle mode. So the thing we need to know is the headphone section has to be in latch mode to utilize a talkback mic. So this button has to be lit up. The reason for that is because we have more than one audio source feeding the headphones at the same time when we're using a talkback mic. You can have the speaker section and the speaker output section in whichever modes you want, but the headphone section, when you're using a talkback mic, we want to make sure that it's in latch mode. Once we've made our selection, all we need to do to save our settings is hit one of the setup buttons, and we get a nice light show, and then our settings are saved. Now that we know about latch and toggle mode, let's look at the way that the selection buttons function on the source. These buttons, like a lot of the buttons you'll find on dangerous gear, function in what we call moment toggle. This means that if you hold a button, it'll stay engaged until you let it go. But if you tap a button, it'll latch and it'll stay open until you tap it again. In order to use a talkback mic with the source, we need something that has a line level output. One really great option for this is an app called Talkback Mic. It's a free app. You can download it and have an instant talkback mic to incorporate with your source. And it's a really great option if you need a line level device for a talkback mic. And it's mobile, just like the source. So all you have to do is plug one end of the stereo mini cable into the headphone jack, then plug the other end of the stereo mini into the analog 2 input of the source. To use the Talkback Mic app with the source, all you need to do is open up the app, hit the toggle talk button, the talkback mic button, and this will latch the mic so that it's open all the time. Now we can utilize analog 2 to speak to the artist with either latch or toggle mode. Another option you have is to use a mic and a preamp. You can use any old mic and preamp that you have laying around. The things you're going to need for this are a mic, an XLR cable, preamp, and this is the most important piece. You need a female XLR cable with a stereo mini on the other end. This is something that you can buy from anybody who sells dangerous music gear. The reason why this is important is because a preamp has a mono output and the dangerous source has a stereo input. So you need a cable that's going to take your signal from mono and split it off into stereo so that you can feed both sides of the source. It's also important to note that you can only use a preamp that has an analog line level output. In this case, the level of your talkback mic is going to be controlled by the gain setting on the preamp, so adjust it accordingly. The first step is to plug the mic into the cable, and then plug the mic cable into the preamp, and then using your XLR to stereo mini cable, plug the output of the preamp into analog 2 of the source. And now all you have to do is engage the analog 2 button in order to feed the talkback mic to the headphones. If you'd prefer, you could also feed your preamp to analog input 1. Analog input 1 on the source has a stereo XLR input, so you'll need a Y cable that has a female XLR on one end that goes to 2 male XLRs on the opposite end. Those are some of the options that you have when incorporating a talkback mic with your dangerous source. Pick the one that works best for you and go make some music.